locker room is enjoying it. They're happy. I'm happy for them. You know, especially those 20 seniors that we got together a couple weeks ago and said, let's we set a goal and we're on track to accomplishing that goal. So name of the game, turnovers. You know, thought it would be the case early. Before the game, thought it was going to be the telling grace, which it was. You know, it was 5-1. Two offenses that are pretty similar. You know, do a good job in the run game. Don't do a great job in the pass game. And then two defenses that are pretty good. So good team win. All three sides of the ball I thought were effective. And, we're going to enjoy this one. So I'll take some questions.
Skyler only threw it 12 times, but there were 2 big-time throws he made on his touchdowns.
Yeah, he's capable of it. I mean, I've seen him do it a lot. You know, it's tough when the confidence takes a hit. You know, he gets booed. I tell him to do it, but he gets booed. He has write nasty articles about him and everything. He's got thick skin. He's a great kid. He's smart. He understands the situation. He's pressing forward, giving it everything that he possibly can. He's got to work out of it a little bit. You know, in the past one, he's got to work out of it a little bit. He's certainly capable of those throws. I've seen him do it. Seen him do it in games. I've seen him do it in practice. He's capable of. We're capable of throwing the ball more. It gets to a point where you just say, you know what, I want to win this game, and what we're doing is working, so let's just keep doing it.
Was there a little bit of a dilemma for you on that last drive because you were able to run the ball tempoing them, but the clock was your friend? Were you thinking about that? Well, I can get yards.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the whole second half.
Yeah.
Because our plan going into it was short passes and a lot of runs and do it quick. I really wanted to go up tempo. I thought it would limit what they would do defensively. You know, Charlie does a great job on defense, and they give you tons of different looks on defense. So I thought if I could go fast, it would eliminate some of the stuff that he would do. And when we did that, we were typically effective. We scored before halftime, and then we came out and we didn't get the ball until I think 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. So at that point, I'm just kind of looking at it, saying we need to try to get this game over with. But then we stumbled. You know, trying to go relatively slow, we didn't do very good. So I said, you know what, let's just play the win. So we went back up tempo and it worked out.
You mentioned last week Skyler's importance of his runs, even though there's not a lot of them. What was that in your mind today on that last drive when you go back to him keeping it, even though Wendell obviously had a big day?
You can't give it to number 4 every snap. I mean, it carried him, 24 times or something. I mean, that's a lot. It's a long season. You know, if you sit there and say, well, he's our guy, we're going to give it to him 30 times a game, he ain't going to last. So you got to be able to do different things. Seven comes in as a change-up for us. Skyler's a change-up for us. The short passing game needs to be a change-up for us. He's effective in the run game, Skyler, and he's going to continue to be effective. And there's certain things that we're going to do, and he's going to carry the ball for us.
Yeah, you talked about not giving up on Javon and some of those young receivers. I mean, didn't give up on him, gave him a chance, and he caught this one.
Yeah, made a huge play. I just gave him a hug down there. He said, "Coach, I'm back." I said, "About time. We've been gone for 6 weeks." But he's young. He's continuing to work hard. They all do. I mean, all those guys are going to continue to get better. Shelton's in a little bit of a funk right now. He's got to snap out of it. Gary Jennings had a great week of practice last week. He played more today. He's going to get better. Karan had a couple of big catches, and he's going to continue to get better. As David and William, we're going to continue to play them and try to put them in a position where they can continue to play football.
Some big plays and some big hits today out of your kick coverage units. How good have they been for you guys?
They've been fantastic. I prefer everybody just not to talk about them. They've been good. Our coverage units have been good all year, and we got a lot of speed on that unit, and we've maintained some pretty good health for the most part, to where those are our backups, to where we can keep those units the same. Nick had a couple of shorter punts. It looks like he shanks them, but he's still kicking 30-some yards. Just because some of the other ones he booms 50 and 60 yards, and then he's doing a great job in the kickoff as well.
How much of this durability and toughness between the tackles was anticipated from Wendell?
He's matured into that guy. He's matured into that guy. I thought he's been a good running back for the last couple of years. He's been so versatile that we're able to use him in the pass game and stuff. And he's turning into as good a running back as I've seen. And he's great between the tackles. So I don't think there's a whole lot he can't do other than score. And gets in the damn end zone. We talk about it all the time. Like, you guys should ask him about it when he comes in here. When are you gonna score a touchdown? I can't remember last time he scored a touchdown. But he averaging 100 and some yards a game, so we're happy with him.
Jared had the scoop and scored touchdown with kind of all he's been through for you to see that and for him to do it in a spot where your defense kind of needed a big play.
Yeah, it's a big play in the game, there's no question. Jared 2 years ago had the knee injury out there in the same game against Texas where we had a chance to win and made some plays, long road, back for him and, being a senior, being able to get that thing done, play the whole game, he's an inspiration to a whole bunch of people around here. So happy for him to be able to experience that. And, happy for all the seniors, but to see him make a play that made a difference in the game was pretty cool.
When Texas gets that power run game going, how difficult is that for any defensive stuff?
Their bodies are really good. Their bodies are real good. That Swoops is enormous. I forgot how big he was. But when they want to do it, they're going to continue to get better and better every kid. They got 2 true freshmen on the offensive line. They got extremely big and athletic quarterbacks. The Herd kid's going to keep getting better. Their backs are going to keep getting better. Those receivers all look like NFL receivers, so they're going to keep progressing.
A year ago, you guys couldn't get a turnover. This year, not only are they coming, but this was a team that hadn't turned the ball over hardly at all this year, and you got like 5 today, fumbles recovered. What's the difference between from year to year and that's happening?
It's one of the, you mentioned that article. I had a bunch of problems. That was probably one of them, not being able to coach getting turnovers. So we coach turnovers quite a bit, and it's one of those years. You guys are doing a good job.
From what you saw on film, did Texas seem like a team that was susceptible to turnovers?
No, I mean they had 7 in 9 games. Right. I mean that's outstanding. I mean that's as good as anybody in the country. They've done as good as anybody in the country at taking care of the football. I think us knocking the heck out of them had something to do with it. Daryl Worley making a huge play on that 4th down. I wish he would have dropped it, but making a play is awesome. So. Got a little bit of pressure on the quarterback that forces those guys to make some bad decisions, and then we hit them. We force turnovers. There's so much. Guys that are teams that are really good at getting turnovers force turnovers. They don't just luck into them. You may luck into one every now and then, but it's about forcing them. I thought we did a great job forcing.
Yeah, Skyler's effort maybe even a little bit more impressive because interception on the first drive. Team fell behind early. I saw you get in his ear after one of those drives, but. I mean, with everything up against it, he played really, really well.
I think he responds to hard criticism. It's not a green light to boom, but he doesn't tank it in those situations. And I try to run him a little bit early to try to get him whacked, because that usually wakes him up to the point where he plays a little bit better. So, he was. I think it was a little bit of an adjustment to go as fast as we were in the first quarter because we've been kind of slowing things down a little bit. So he lined us up a couple times wrong. That's why I was getting after him. It wasn't his performance. It was the mental aspect of it. And he snapped out of it and did a great job for the rest of the game.
Danny, you mentioned about 6 receivers already. I haven't mentioned Shorts at all.
Yeah.
Probably par for the course for him because he's
Yes.
reliable. The plays he made today, I mean, without those, I don't know if the story's any different, but that helps Skyler a ton too, right?
I mean, he's as reliable of a receiver as I've ever been around. I really got on him on that first 3rd down. It's 3rd and 3, and he cut it off too quick and caught it. Made a hard catch for 2 yards. Well, run the route, the right way, and it's not going to be as hard of a catch, and you're going to get the first down. So I got on him. I challenged him. He responds to that. He's a great kid. He's a hard worker. He's reliable. As reliable gets. Had a couple of huge 3rd down catches after that, one of which was a touchdown. He's as good of a possession type receiver as I've been at. Not, speaking of scoring, I mean, he scored again, you know, tonight. He's one of our red zone threats.
Right.
That really is emerging as a guy that's gonna catch balls in the red zone and catch balls on third down. So, you're right, he probably doesn't get the credit he deserves.
What is his proficiency in the red zone? I mean, he's not jumping over guys or whatever. Is it route execution? Is it just?
Yeah, he can go up and get it, and just great ball skills. He's got great body control and great ball skills. That was a hard catch in the back of the end zone. And he's made a lot of those, and he will continue to do that.
What kind of difference did you see in Skylar after you all chat there at first quarter?
Make nothing physical, more of the mental stuff. You know, getting us lined up the right way. You know, it's all about the specific plays, communicating the right thing. You know, he made a couple of mental errors early, and you know, I got after him a little bit. He responded and did things the way I know he knows how to do it.
I think he pulled the question with like full passes today. Does he seem to do better, at least in this point in the season here, where where he's maybe not leaned on maybe quite as much, where you have guys like a Wendell and Rush who are kind of maintaining a large load of that offensive burden. Does it seem to do better when it's when he's a little bit more decreased of a role?
Everybody would. I mean, everybody would. It's a lot easier to play quarterback when you check the right run plays and hand it off and then get first down. So, but a lot of those things he was responsible for as well. Getting us into the right play, keeping the ball around the edge, running it between the tackles. He fought for some pretty dang hard rushing yards. That sparked us unbelievably. I think it was the second quarter. So he's capable of being mentioned as, in the same breath as Wendell and Russell and the rest of those guys as far as running and executing the offense.
And considering Texas loading the box, what do you think the offensive line able to block for 250 plus yards?
Yeah, those are hard yards. I mean, these guys are good on defense. They're leading the league in yards per play, defensively, and they played, everybody in the league but Baylor, so they're a good defense, and it's hard to run against. Their pass rush was one of the reasons why I threw it 12 times is because they were leading the league in sacks. Those guys can rush the passer. They're good. It's the University of Texas. You got great players. So, you knew they were going to stack the box and put people in the gaps to stop the run. I thought our guys did a good job. Once again, I think our O-line did a very good job between the tackles, especially the inside three, of getting the run game started.
Did they